Shadowhunters, Season 1, Episode 12, right? So let's talk about this thing right here, right? And I gotta admit, this was actually probably one of the better episodes of this season, quite frankly. I thought this was actually a real good episode. It had no real negatives other than a couple of nitpicks or a joke I can make. But that was not really too many, quite frankly, to point to. So for me, particularly, I liked about this episode was that I felt like it was very small moments, right? And this was a very contained episode, but for the most part, it really did count forward to some of the character growth or whatever it may be. And it was the conversations in this episode that I really liked the most, and that's going to be playing into my positives, right? So the basic plot point of this episode was pretty much Alec is getting married, right? It's the wedding of the century, and we're all fucking invited, right? So some things that I really did like, some positives, is that I like the Clary and Alec conversation, right? I really did enjoy that because when they're talking, whatever, kind of like finding some common ground. She eventually says that, we never really saw eye to eye on anything. And I was just like, you know what, Alec, he's a little flamboyant himself. Maybe they might have the same, fashion types. Maybe they have some fashion tips they can exchange or whatever. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe they can find some common ground, right? But a couple other things was that I really did enjoy Izzy and Alec's conversation also, just in general, because she eventually kind of finally comes to terms that she doesn't want to question Alec anymore. She finally accepted Alec's decisions or whatever it may be, whether he wants to go with the wedding or whatever he doesn't want to go with the wedding. She's fully supporting him in anything he does. And that really showed that the character finally has grew, because she's always known for kind of like back talking. He even says himself in episodes. So I thought that was actually quite good for the character, just in general, right? Now, a couple other things was that the Malik conversation, right? Now, the Malik conversation was a very interesting thing, because they're talking about emotions and family, trying to, like, say the family name, and I thought that was actually very good. The only thing was that I feel like it was a very deep conversation for a relationship that just isn't there yet, right? And that's a bit of a nitpick of sorts, because eventually they'll kind of get there, of course, and they even say themselves that their relationship is not really there, they just kind of figure things out. But I just thought, it was a very deep conversation for a relationship that isn't really a relationship yet. But that was just me personally. Now, Jace is very agitated in this episode, right? And I don't blame him, quite frankly, since he wanted to bang the chick that eventually turned out to be his sister. Yeah, I know it's not his real sister eventually later on. But I'm just saying that, I don't blame the guy. But I'm glad he kind of put all that aside to kind of have this, moment of clarity to kind of confront Alec and kind of, make amends pretty much and kind of, branch their relationship back together. So I really thought that was actually quite good. And it was a nice touching moment to see the pair tie kind of come back together. But I thought that was actually very nice. But Jace just had this look on his face. Every time he looked at Clary, he was just like, damn it, I can't even stand the sight of you. But boy, if you weren't my sister, I'd be like, I'd tear that up. But you're my sister, so I can't tear that son of a bitch up. So I just got to look away. But I did think it was funny that Simon eventually, when he kind of greeted Clary or whatever, that he kind of looked at Jace and kind of smiled and laughed and just be like, you know what, I think I got a chance. Here. But eventually, I'm assuming he doesn't really, just in general. So we talk about... Let's talk about Ragnar. I thought Matt Ragnar was actually quite good. I thought he was actually fun and eccentric. Sometimes the horns are a little bit goofy. I do have to admit that this show is going to make all these actors and actresses covered in fucking runes by the time the fucking show ends. Because, like, every episode, they're getting fucking runes. And I'm just like, shit, they're going to be covered in these things by the time this shit ends. But the big wedding, right? The big wedding, this big reveal of this shit. I really enjoyed the wedding, right? So let's start with the wedding just in general. Very tense thing, because you're wondering, is he going to go through with it? Is he not going to go through with it? Is Magnus going to show up? Is he not going to show up? So eventually this wedding is actually taking place, and a rule song that plays while this thing is the entire scene is playing out is just a great thing, because it really did add for the atmosphere just general, right? And eventually Magnus comes up and they kind of do a reference to the graduate or whatever, and you kind of see it obviously, but you just be like, while he's just standing there, he kind of, Alex says, I can't breathe or whatever, and I'm just like saying to myself and just like, well, go after him, he's right there, go after your man. But eventually they get it on and they kiss, and now he eventually lets out to the world that that's who he is pretty much, just in general. So, yeah, I thought that was a nice moment. Not only that, but, he kind of, obviously, he reveals himself to the family, whatever. And, the mother doesn't really accept it, but the father actually did accept it. So I thought that was good. And maybe this might inspire some people, that wants to, tell their secrets to the world, whatever it may be, for some situation. But at the final moment of the last second of this hour, we get revealed that Hodge, yes, the guy with the tat on his neck, eventually is the mole, and he's working with Valentine. Shocker? No, not at all. And that kind of plays into a negative just in general, because I said this, I think, a few episodes ago, where Hodge was just like turning around with the cup, and he just looked like a very suspicious person. But yeah, it wasn't shocking that he's working with Valentine. But yeah, it was actually a real good episode. Nothing really bothered me, quite frankly. But that's my review. Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith. Help me get to 400 subscribers. I'm signing out.